Ladies and gents, we are back with another reaction to the pundits from Sky Sports. Jamie Redknapp, Merson, Roy Keane and Gary Neville. Man United played Arsenal on Sunday 1-1, and on Sky Sports Super Sunday, they were asked the question that if Arsenal sign a striker, will they challenge again? Will they get over the line? Arsenal fans all over the world, Mikel Arteta, they are desperate for a number 9. Who is the 9 going to be? Is it Isak? Is it Osimhen? Is it Benjamin Sesko? I personally think if they bring in an elite number 9, they will win the Premier League. I thought they would win it this season. Injuries, red card decisions, poor performances kind of let them down. Make sure you go down. Drop a like on the video if you haven't already. The road to 50k is on 2,500 subs away now. There is absolutely no excuse. 88% of all of you, yes, you, I'm right now looking at you right there. Why are you not subscribed? Go down, hit that subscribe button. Now, this video is titled, "Where's the evidence to think they can do it?" Now, this is going to be an interesting watch. I got tagged in this yesterday, and I want to react to it and get your guys' thoughts.
Arsenal will be challenging for the title.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, absolutely. I'm confident in that. I think, but they've got to start an elite striker.
So the question was, if Arsenal sign a striker, will they challenge for the Premier League next season? And this is Jamie Redknapp.
And the problem is, how hard are they to find? It's incredibly difficult. No one really wants to sell their best player. They always get spoken about with Alexander Isak, who is obviously elite, because obviously you see the goals he's...
Now, Alexander Isak, we can all agree, if he were to join Arsenal, that would be the final piece. But Jamie Redknapp is right. 120, 130, maybe 140 million pounds, especially if Newcastle get in the top 4 and win the cup this Sunday.
He's got and how he plays, but it's not going to be that easy. Do you think that Arsenal are going to be the only players in town, even if he were to leave Newcastle? Barcelona
very true
about wanting him as well. There'll be a load of clubs that will want him, but they've got to find someone. Is it Sesko as well? They've been mentioned,
and that's the problem. The striker market isn't what it was 20 years ago. The elite number 9s are all pinned down to massive contracts. Haaland, Harry Kane, Lautaro Martinez. Osimhen's the one who could potentially leave, but we'll have to wait and see.
Mentioned that in trying to get, but it's just a case of, I think the guy said it earlier on, a striker, because even though Kai Havertz has done well, they signed him as a number 8. They signed him as an extra midfield player. Then you ask him to go and be a killer in the box, and yes, he had some good moments, but is he an out-and-out striker that's going to...
And that's where I think Arsenal deserve a little bit more credit. Yes, they don't have an elite number 9 in a Kane, Haaland, Isak, Gyökeres, Osimhen, but Jamie Redknapp's right in what he's saying. Havertz wasn't signed to be a number 9. He was put in that position because they didn't have anyone else. And the fact they've remained challenging, the fact they got to the Champions League quarterfinals last year, the fact they're in the Champions League quarterfinals this year, if they go out and get that missing piece, the number 9, why can't they win the league? I want to know why the video is titled, "Where's the evidence to think they can do it?" Who's got the biggest agenda out here? Let's have a look.
To get you 20 goals. Is he going to get you Salah's numbers? That's what they've got to try to find. And if they do, with their defensive stability, they've got a really good goalkeeper that we all like, and midfield, they will certainly go close next season.
Roy, you said the next step is the hardest. Do you have confidence that they will make this step under Mikel Arteta?
No.
Why not?
Roy Keane, mate. You got to love Roy Keane. With a straight face, no, they won't do it. Now, I like Roy Keane. Was a world-class player, won league titles, won trebles, FA Cups, Champions League, represented his country, one of the toughest midfielders around. But if they don't sign an elite number 9, he still thinks they can't win the league. That's an interesting take. Let's hear more.
Why would I? What makes you think they can do it? Or the manager can do it? They've got close over the last few years, and the City will be strong next year. Listen, I'm sure Liverpool will be strong next year. Where's the evidence to think they can do it? Would it be get another striker in? Yeah, obviously that would help. Have they got the right mentality? Has this manager, we just seen there at the interview, getting frustrated?
I disagree. Have they got the right mentality? That's a fair argument. But if they went hypothetically and signed an elite number 9, that's enough firepower alongside Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, Havertz, Trossard. Bring in a creative midfielder. They're looking at Zubimendi as well. They're looking at Williams as well. I think they've got the right mentality. I think the ownership is part of the problem. Do they want it bad enough? Because Arteta clearly does. He loves the football club. He's passionate. No one can argue that he doesn't want to win. Just do they have that missing piece?
Which is fine, because you see a different side to managers when they're winning every week. It's great. We've seen that even with Pep. But all of a sudden, when they're losing matches or they're not getting the rewards they think they deserve, they get all agitated and frustrated. And that's fine. I've been there and done it. But what is the evidence to think that if they get somebody to get 20 goals, that we'll sit down and go, well, that'll be the difference. I don't think it necessarily.
But I get what he's saying, but we can't. If you had an extra 20 goals on this Arsenal side, they would have outscored Liverpool. They probably would have closed the gap. And they'd probably be in front of Liverpool. If Alexander Isak or Osimhen or Gyökeres and a creative player were in this Arsenal team, I think we can all agree the gap would not be 15 points right now. They might not have won the league, but they'd be very, very, very close. You know, Liverpool next season might be without Salah. They might be without Van Dijk. They might be without Trent. Right? Manchester City, who knows? They've got a huge rebuild. They could be about De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Edison, Ortega, John Stones, Kovacic. How's Rodri going to be when he comes back? The narrative that just because Arsenal signed a number 9 doesn't mean they won't get over the line. That maybe holds some water, but there's no evidence to say that Man City will be better than they are this season. There's no evidence to say that Liverpool will go again next season. Like, I feel like when people talk about Arsenal, and before anyone calls me an Arsenal fan, etc., the difference between me and a lot of people is I can take my rival hat, my bias off. When I look at Arsenal right now, they need a winger, a midfielder, and a number 9. The midfielder might be Martin Zubimendi, the winger might be Nico Williams, and the number 9 might be Alexander Isak. But we're in a situation now in the Premier League where it's as competitive as it has ever been. Bournemouth and Forest battling it out for the Europa League and Champions League. Newcastle have got one of the best 9s in Europe. Nottingham Forest have got one of the best defences in Europe. Aston Villa are in the Champions League quarterfinals. Spurs and Man United are 13th and 14th. Like, the Premier League right now is as competitive as ever. And to think that if Arsenal sign that elite number 9, they can't win the league, I think that's just a stupidly high agenda.
So I suppose the evidence might be that they got 89 points last season, 85 the season before. It looks like they will fall short of
Arsenal got more. This is the maddest thing, right? This is the craziest thing. Arsenal got 89 points last season. Liverpool probably will not get 89 points this season, and they will win the league. Now, how nuts is that? That's crazy.
this season because of the injuries they had.
Yeah, so
They get those players back and they can add to that group.
yeah, of course, all ifs and ands. But again, do you think City and Liverpool are just going to stand still? They're going to keep looking to improve.
I hear what he's saying, but at the same time, Liverpool might be about Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent. Man City could be about 10 players. They've got a huge rebuild coming up. Just like there's no guarantee that Arsenal can win the league for number 9, but there's also no guarantee that Man City get better and Liverpool retain their players and they get better. Look at the Premier League table of last season, right? This is this season's Premier League table, right? Yeah. Now look at it last season. 91 points. There is absolutely no way that anyone's getting 91 points this season. I don't even think Liverpool can get 91 points this season. I don't think they'll even get 89 points. I think we're in a position right now where the Premier League is a lot stronger than last season. Like 6 finished on 63 points. 6 this season will probably finish on about, I would imagine, 59 points, maybe 60 points. The Premier League winners won't be on 90 points again. I mean, it's a completely different season than it was last season. I want to get back to what Roy Keane's got to say.
Liverpool will be stronger next year. These teams aren't going anywhere, and they've had a bit of a dip this year, particularly Man City. We don't know what Chelsea are. We don't know what 1 or 2 other teams improving. But what's the evidence?
Chelsea are not going to win the Premier League next season. They need a goalkeeper. They need an elite number 9. They need an elite centre-back. They need another winger. They're not going to do that. The year after, maybe, but not next season.
From the Arteta or this group of players, that they've got that mentality to challenge. We talk about it's not like challenging for a title, but to me, in my mentality, it's about winning titles, not challenging.
It feels a bit like whack-a-mole for them, really, doesn't it? Whereby they're just always sort of like, the first season they didn't win, it was because they didn't have Saliba and they needed someone to back him up, so then they signed defenders.
Yeah, but
Last season it was because...
Is that Arteta's fault they didn't have Saliba? Or is that the board not giving the manager the best tools to do the job? Like, I think what Gary Neville and Roy Keane are saying maybe holds some truth, but not the full truth. You know, context needs to be applied here.
Whether so they go and sign players that, you know what I mean? It feels like they're always behind. This season it's because they haven't got strikers or attacking players, so they're going to go and say, but the other teams are still improving, as Roy says. The other teams are still getting better. So I think that it's not just about a striker, it's probably about a couple of forwards.
I agree with that.
Forwards that can play
Forward
across.
options,
yeah, forward options that.
I mean, listen, if they bring in a number 9 and a forward, why can't they go and win the league? It's as simple as that. Let me know your thoughts down below. I am out.